Hello, gorgeous people. You're looking great as always. I think you must be having those beauty genes in your family. Being a beautiful person, you might have heard of these words commonly. But being a biology lover, we know that these genes are on chromosomes that are inherited from one to the next generation. Do you ever wonder how chromosome was discovered and how it was proven to be the genetic material which is so conserved and inherited? If yes, then get on the boat. The whole interesting history of inheritance biology is waiting for you here. Welcome to Biology Insights, and we are going one step ahead in the series of inheritance biology. In previous video lectures, we have learned Mendelian principles and its application. And today we will explore how chromosomal transmission is related to the patterns of inheritance observed by Mendel. This relationship, known as Chromosome Theory of Inheritance, was a major breakthrough in genetics because it established the framework of understanding how chromosomes carry and transmit the genetic determinants that control the outcome of traits. Though the credit of Chromosome Theory of Inheritance is on Sutton and Boveri, but many great scientists and their incredible works are also behind it. The theory was dramatically discovered by 3 lines of scientific inquiries. One avenue concerned Mendel's breeding studies in 1866, in which he analyzed the transmission of traits from parents to offspring and a pattern of segregation and independent assortment followed by it. Due to some reasons, including less knowledge of genes and chromosomes, his work was ignored for many years. In 1900, Hugo de Vries, Carl Coran, and Erich von Schemark rediscovered Mendel's work while analyzing inheritance pattern in other plants. In brief, on this street of time, Mendel's work was finally recognized as beyond excellence and opened novel paths that unfold exciting facts about inheritance. While at the same time, several vivid studies were also conducting around the world which led to the theory. The second line of inquiry involved the material basis of hereditary. In 1876, German zoologist Oskar Hartwig, working on sea urchin, and Swiss zoologist Hermann Fall, working on starfish, independently described sperm entry into egg, following by union of male and female nuclei. Can you believe it took 200 years after the discovery of sperm to confirm that egg and sperm do fuse together during the fertilization and trigger the embryo development? No doubt biology is a long run. After that, in 1877, German cytologist Eduard Starberger observed that the sperm nucleus of plants without cytoplasm enters the egg during plant fertilization. It gave primary idea that heritable factor is present in nucleus, not in cytoplasm. In 1883, German zoologist August Weismann came up with an adequate idea while observing hydrozoa that the germ cells of animals contain something essential for the species, something which must be carefully preserved and pass on from one generation to another. Hence was born the theory of germ plasm, which he embedded in a book published in German in 1866. Its essence was the idea that all living things contain a special hereditary substance. This is still accepted as valid today, though in place of germ plasm, one speaks of chromosomes, genes, and DNA. Based on all these studies conducted almost simultaneously and independently, it was very clear that nucleus is the core where the genetic material is preserved, and from all those scientists, 3 of them named Hartwig, Starberger, and August Weismann united together in 1885 to propose that chromosomes are the carrier of genetic material. At nearly same time, the third line was also growing simultaneously to previous 2. This avenue involved a microscopic examination of the processes like fertilization, mitosis, and meiosis. It all started with the German biologist Walther Flemming in 1878, where he discovered that the nucleus always splits before the cell does. He observed that there are thread-like structures getting shortened and seem to split longitudinally into 2 halves, each half moving to opposite sides of the cell. He named the entire process mitosis and described it in his historic book Zellsubstanz, Kern, and Zellthelang. He is known as the father of cytogenetics, as he was the first one to observe and describe the behavior of chromosomes in nucleus during the mitosis. Later in 1883, Belgian embryologist and cytologist Edward van Beneden published a series of papers on the egg of the species of Ascaris, which is an intestinal worm found in horses. He showed that gametes contain half number of chromosomes, and fertilization restores the normal diploid number. After a while, in 1901, American zoologist Thomas Harrison Montgomery observed that maternal and paternal chromosomes pair with each other during meiosis. He was first to propose that chromosomes play the dominant role in sex determination, and some historians also claim that he was the first one to propose the chromosome theory of inheritance. Rediscovery of Mendel's law in 1900 clarified inheritance, but Mendel had worked with traits of whole organisms. He did not investigate how characteristics are sorted and combined on a cellular basis. This incompleteness was fulfilled by some studies conducted in early 19th. Year 1902 is where German cytologist Theodor Boveri showed that when sea urchin eggs were fertilized by two sperms, an abnormal development of embryo was observed. He proved and stated that specific assortment of chromosomes is responsible for normal development, and the individual chromosomes possess different qualities. He also stated that the probability is extraordinarily high that the characters dealt with in Mendelian experiments are truly connected to some specific chromosomes. This showed that he recognized the Mendelian concepts of segregation and assortment as ideas that could be taken to operate on a cellular level with chromosomes. Great connection. That's why we love digging the history, don't we? In 1903, Walter Sutton came into the picture, who was an American graduate student of Clarence E. McClung, one of the investigators who examined the chromosomal basis of sex determination. Sutton worked independently and came to the same conclusion as Boveri. He wrote two papers which had great impact on history of genetics. One of it, published in 1902, documented that somatic chromosomes of a grasshopper occur in definite, distinguishable, and different pairs of homologous chromosomes. The paper ended up with a stated hypothesis by him saying that I may finally call attention to the probability that the association of maternal and paternal chromosomes in pairs and their subsequent separation during reducing division may constitute the physical basis of Mendelian law of inheritance. Clearly, we can conclude that a connection between chromosomes and hereditary was strengthened by research of Boveri and Sutton, but yet effective evidence in support of chromosome theory was not given. To get a proof, researchers need to examine a gene linked with chromosome to understand the chromosome's behavior during reproduction. The same was performed by American biologist Thomas H. Morgan in 1909, when he discovered a particular eye color mutation in the fruit fly Drosophila melanogaster. On the basis of his study, he proved that all genes are located on chromosomes, and Mendel's principle could be explained by the transmission properties of chromosomes during reproduction. We will learn the interesting details of his experiment in the upcoming video lecture. If you like the historical essence of the lecture, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to get notified for new insights of biology. Thank you for watching the lecture. See you in the next video.